Hello,
Yay!
everyone. Welcome. Thank you to stay with us connected. Today we have two beautiful ladies with us. We have a Giorgiana Hines and we have a Milagros Garcia. Today we're going to talk about social selling and tips for recruitment and selling. So welcome, ladies.
Hey, thank you for having
Ladies,
me.
beautiful ladies.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start it by sharing some tips how we're gonna be recruiting using different channels like Facebook, Instagrams, and YouTube. We're gonna try to make some differences how each one of them working. So we're gonna start by welcome our two guests, and then we're gonna start sharing some opinions about it. How you like that, ladies?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So, Georgiana, you start.
Okay, throw me under the bus first. So, for me, social media, I use it all together. I think it's all interconnected, but I think my favorite channels of late have been Instagram. I like Instagram because it's visual. I'm a visual learner. It's graphics. I love photos. Even when I blog or do YouTube, I always add pictures. But I like when Instagram came out because you can. It's not as scripted as some of the other media channels. It's something. I mean, Milagros does an amazing time with her YouTube, just keeping it live and fresh. I am not that kind of person. I have to edit and I have to, tweak things. I do live videos, but I wasn't so great at doing a lot of lives like Milagros. So for me, Instagram was awesome because I could just take quick snapshots and then post them and interact with a lot of people that way. And I feel like a lot of people are like passively on Instagram because it's sort of like Pinterest. You can scroll through and flip through the pictures, and then when you see the pictures you like, you follow, you read the comments. So it's like a different way of building a community and relationship with people. So since I was on Instagram, of course, my business goes wherever I go. So my business came onto Instagram as well. So within the last year, I just created two separate channels. One is my personal channel where I post what I'm doing and what I'm living, like my entire life. But then I have one specifically for Avon, and of course, a little Avon trickles into my personal. But for me, you take your pictures, you post them, you can schedule them out. I'm huge on scheduling, so I love that Avon Social gives you beautiful pictures. So I try to organize my photos from Avon Social with my personal photos. And I always recommend to my teammates, everyone I talk to, that you should definitely have photos on there that are yours. Your Pinterest board is a collection of photos that you've pulled from everywhere and that you're just sharing. But your Instagram page is really you. It's really personal. It's what you're doing, what your photos are of, places you've been, things that you've been doing. So I try to take Avon Social and partner it with my own photos. I might either pick a color scheme that I'm working with, or I might have a theme, whether it's like Avon convention or summertime. So I try to find the theme that I'm working with, and then I try to schedule my posts accordingly. I plan ahead. I have a busy schedule, so sometimes I can't get my photos up every day. So I like to create a schedule. I try to post, 1 to 3 photos per day. Monday through Saturday. And then I also try to schedule ahead of time. So I'll either plan out my entire week, or if I'm good, really good, which is not as often as I would like to be, I'll try to have a whole month scheduled. So the fact that I could do that ahead of time saves me a ton of time because I don't have to keep checking it. I don't have to keep going back in, and I can take the time just communicating with my followers as opposed to creating content. So it saves me a ton of time to do like a batch of photos and images. And then when I plan ahead, I can put them all out and color coordinate, organize, theme, color, etc.
Okay. So Milagros, do you see?
I love that tip. Well, first of all, I didn't even know that I could schedule things on Instagram.
You can schedule everything.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So that's
okay. I have this question. I see on Instagram a lot of sellers. Instagram most like it's like a to post your personal life, but you also have the business account. What difference does it make, or how is the best impact for you to have buyers without being seller, and also be so obvious to offering a product?
Well, even though I do have it separate, I do try not to be super salesy. Like I said, I try to keep it fun and lively, and I do try to mix up like my personal type of images. But my business channel is where you'll see it's like more product oriented. It's not as much of my other hobbies. So I'm involved in a lot. I have my day job, which is architecture. I knit, I crochet, I love sci-fi. So by focusing that channel, like when you're there, it's beauty, makeup, fashion, and that's what the focus is on. So my followers for that channel are people who are following that topic. My personal channel, I have friends and followers who are into sci-fi like I am, who are into crochet, knitting, and crafting like I am, who are into planners. So my personal page is kind of more of a mixture, and then my business page, it's not see this for $12.99 and buy it. It's also, how to use this product, how to, what I love about this product. Sometimes it's just me doing a get ready with me video, which is me just doing my hair or my makeup. But it's more focused. It's like 100% Avon.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm not confused. For me, I think I have a mess in Instagram already. I think I have all mixed up because I do not have a personal account. What I do have is a business account. And, I don't know exactly how to work it, honestly, because, okay, I put a lipstick, I'm trying to describe what I'm wearing. And if I have a family picture, of course I'm going to post it. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing on Instagram. So I would like to have a better understanding. That's why you our guest today, because we need someone who teach exactly how it really work and how we can profit from.
I feel like, if you do have one that's a combination of both, for years, I actually had everything in one spot and it was working for me. I was building up my followers for both, but I kind of just decided last year that I wanted to keep my business and my personal, I didn't want to have anything interfere with Avon. So that's why I separated, but you can totally keep it all together. Don't feel the pressure to separate, because at the end of the day, it's yours and it's representation of you. So for me, my personal page in the past, it was Avon and everything together, and that was my life. That was, that was how I lived. So it was okay. But if you do feel like you do have a business page and that's the only page, that's totally fine. Because in this day and age, there is so much. There's Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter, and now there's TikTok. So you kind of have to do what works for you.
Yes.
We have to learn TikTok now.
You're gonna be surprised that my niece, she's visiting me today, and she's only like 7 years old, right? 10 years old. You see, I'm losing even time. And she said, if you have a TikTok already. And I said, no. And she said, look, I have mine. And she started doing that little things and the TikTok. And I said, oh my God, I'm way behind.
So our next video will be like a dance coordination.
Yes. And singing,
Millie could do it. Millie, you do bar, and maybe your TikTok will be a workout.
I haven't even checked it out, but that sounds like fun. Anything that's dancing and
It is actually, it is. So Milagros, how YouTube channel is been working for you? And if we listen right now at Giorgiana, what kind of difference you will find, and what useful tools you can take from what she said right now?
Well, I'm gonna definitely check out the schedule, but I love that all the three of us here have different styles of posting, and at least we post, that all of us are consistent. That's the entire message of having different social platforms. So my thing about posting is it probably takes me a few minutes. Sometimes I get an idea, and I'm like, okay, let's put a post of whatever picture. And Giorgiana talked about color schemes, and I did watch a YouTube video of someone, focusing on a color scheme in order to get the pictures to look right. So, I want to give all of you the message, the ones that are watching us on social selling, that you don't have to be an expert. But as you start posting things, you're going to find out what your style is going to be. Like Giorgiana, she has her style that she developed throughout the years. And then she mentioned that she had 2 Instagram accounts. I don't even think I have you on the other one.
Follow.
I keep one, even though I'm not consistent with my postings on Instagram. But my major social media is Facebook. So for me, I choose Facebook because I can do more. I feel more comfortable to share my story other than Instagram. But I manage other social medias. I try to get different postings to work on my pages. I remember, and I would like to share this with you. I used to do all my live videos. I used to do them on my timeline, on my personal Facebook. And then I made the decision to not do that. So the reason why I did that, because I didn't want to get my audience tired of me posting something about the business or some kind of training when I had, different followers on my timeline. So what I did, I created, right now I manage 15 Facebook pages. Imagine that.
Wow.
That's a full-time job right there.
How do you do that?
But the way I do schedule my post on those pages, so if I'm going to post something from Avon Social, you will see that it goes to all my Avon pages. And then I have to schedule my health and wellness on my health and wellness page. So I create 3 different categories. The Avon category for recruiting and sales on my pages. And then I have my health and wellness, and then I have a page in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And I do schedule those. But I started making videos on my pages, and I was by myself. I was like, this is not working. What is everybody?
Exactly.
And I was like, I got over that fear. I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. What I'm going to do is just start doing my live videos and not even worry about who's going to be there. I'm going to create my own audience, and I'm going to just build it. Well, recently, I started getting people to actually be with me on my live videos because of the consistency. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys to, work on your Facebook pages and don't feel like you're by yourself and you get discouraged because you don't have any following.
Actually, when the multi-brain channel start coming out in Facebook, I hope you remember, Scott Kramer says something really important to remember. They says, you don't do the live video for the people who watching you, but you do the live video for people who gonna come back later to watch you. Yeah. So because it's not real time, it started from there, it's not real time, and it's that we have East, different time, in Central time, no one is, nobody is connected at the same time. So it's a smart way to think because, for example, we are talking right now, but the people who want to really watch this video is the people who come in from the job later today or, the free time.
Yeah. And I like that you said that because I feel like whether it's a blog or a YouTube channel or Instagram, I it's easy to have like huge FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and feeling like everybody else has this huge following and all these followers and all these watchers, and you tend to want to watch other people. But when you're doing your own social media and pages, and this is something that I've struggled with myself, so I'm preaching to the choir here, but I had to overcome that, because at the end of the day, it's your creation. So you don't do it because you're trying to impress other people. You really have to do it for the enjoyment of doing it yourself. Because if you don't like it, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to be consistent. So you do have to find something that you, whatever it is, even though it's your business, you're in this business for a reason, because you love some part about it. For me, I love to play with the makeup, so I do get ready with me's. I love to try out the different products. I've always loved opening my orders and seeing what's inside, testing them out. So I do those as videos because I love doing it anyway. And if I like, Millie is great with exercise videos. I tried that and I lasted maybe 2 days because I don't exercise. So it's not genuine for me to do. I think, you know, when Aspira first came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to do shakes and the exercise. And I was like, not my forte.
No.
So you got to do what you believe in.
Exactly. I follow many of our fellow friends. I follow very close the delicious food, Molly Stone Beaver cooking. I don't know if you are related with that channel. I love to see that, and I see. Oh my God! I wish to know how to cook actually, but I it seems you know, yummy when you see those foods she's cooking right there. And when I see other ladies posting different style, you know, everyone has their own style to prospect, and that's the beauty of each individual is unique. Actually, they have their own way to promote, their own way to prospect, their own way to say you can be a home and sell, you know, you can be a home and do your own business. And I love that part. I love the way they presenting themselves on each channel. But it's about me. I will say I until today I didn't found my niche. Actually, I am everywhere. I do everything as possible to do it. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I'm everywhere, but I still haven't found yet my specific niche where I can work.
That's your niche. If you're a person who could do everything, then why not? Like, I know you have amazing Facebook posts. So you're reaching out to your audience on Facebook. Like, what are some of the things that you do that got you so involved in Facebook?
I like to teach. Maybe that's why, you know.
See?
My mom is a teacher. So you see, it's on my blog been teaching, and I believe that's the more easy way for me to express myself is to tell anyone else how you can do things, right? But now, if we're talking about content, how we can convert what we're doing to actually to make our business grow.
Should I go first? Again?
Yep.
Content is an interesting thing. Everybody has their own theories on the type of content, and I've been in a lot of different groups and they've got percentages, but again, at the end of the day, I feel like it has to be something that you will do consistently, that will be unique to you and that you actually enjoy doing. For a while, when we first started on, you know, creating our Facebook business pages in our company, there was this huge thing like, oh, you know, post a lot of pictures of puppies because people love puppies. So people will come to your page to see the puppies. And I was like, am I selling puppies? No. So, yeah, it's great because it'll bring a lot of people to like my page, but it's not related to what I'm doing. So I have to look at what's the main focus of my page. So whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, I try to think about what is the message that I'm trying to communicate. For me, I said, you know, I should just stick with what I love. I love this company. I love the products. So you're going to see me using the products just in my everyday life. And I try not to make it like, if I don't like a product, you're not going to see it on there. So I try to keep it 100% honest. And I try I'm not going to post or share something because I feel like everybody else is sharing it, or because this is the thing that everybody's doing to get followers, because it's not genuine to me, and I'm not going to continue doing it because I'm not interested in it. So I think for content, you kind of just have to pull back and get like an overall picture. I mentioned earlier that I love to plan. I keep everything in my planner, and you guys might have even heard me talk about it before. I use a boss agenda to plan everything.
Actually, by the way, you have to choose that planner because I wanted to see it.
So this planner it's the boss agenda. It's something Emily has hers. It's actually something that I came up for my business because, you know, life gets crazy and you get a lot of stuff that you're working on at once. And it's hard sometimes to balance the day job and the evening job and the family. And I found that for me, it was just better to write everything down. So when I'm planning, even now, like I'm working with you guys, I'm taking notes on what you guys are saying. So for me, like I put everything in one place. And then for my calendar, I can't show you my actual, like a full calendar because I have, you know, names of my appointments and things in there. But I'm going to see if I can show you, like, it's just a blank calendar page that I use. So I make my list on this side of all the posts that I want to go out that month. So next month is April. When's Mother's Day? Don't tell my mother. April or May? Mother's Day is coming up, right? May? Okay.
Yeah, May 10.
So like,
Goodness,
like St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, all the events that are coming up here and what posts I want to do. I also have a notes section at the bottom. So as I could use that to track my blog posts, my Instagram posts, sometimes a color scheme. And then on my daily pages, I have a section for notes. So usually on this page, let me see if I have a page that I can show you where I was brainstorming. I will try a page that doesn't have names on it, but I try to put the videos that I'm working on for, well, actually it starts the week before. So let's see if I can do this without showing anything. Nope, I've got meetings and appointments with people on it, but I'll show you a blank page. So I have to start like the week before. I do like a blueprint for the week ahead. So on this page, I plan out what I'm going to be posting for the week, what my focus is on, how many blog posts and everything. And then on that day, I work on the page, on the post. So I might brainstorm my ideas. If I have a meeting with someone, I put the notes that I'm going to be talking about, things I'm going to be covering. And then I put, it's kind of just a space for me to get everything out of my head. So for me, I have to write stuff down ahead of time, and it starts like in the month ahead, and then planning for the week, and then planning for the day. And so by breaking things down, I find it easier to be more consistent with content because I could look at the calendar and see where the days are that are empty. I can look and see when there are appointments coming up that I need to plan. Sometimes you guys might have seen on my page, we had an emergency in our house that threw everything out of whack for like a full year, but just mentally being able to come back to my planner and get back on track was a huge help. So for content, keep it real, keep it unique to you. And I would say plan. For content, I think if you have something planned out to fill in the gaps, it runs a lot smoother. And then if you have extra for that day, you can just add in more.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, few people say hi. English and Spanish ladies are connected, and they say hi to you, ladies. And yep, we have many people connected, so welcome. And Milagros, how work the planner for you, Milagros? Because for me, honestly, I know what I has to do, but and I get it done. But I'm not used to a planner, actually, Giorgiana. I'm trying myself. My kids, they follow in the planner. You know, they're in the school, they have to follow the planner. But I'm myself, I say, I know the things I get to get done daily, but I'm not seeing myself that tight like you, Giorgiana.
To be honest with you, it's not tight. I am not that person that there's an area in the planner for those people, because I know they're out there, you set your 9 to 5 and you have everything for every hour. And there are days where I plan that down to the wire, but there are days where I just have a checklist. So I think that's why it's important to have something that works for you, that's flexible.
But I love it because you know what things to be done during the day, especially if you have 2 or 3 jobs like you mentioned earlier. So I think it's depend of the things we have to do, right? But I really love it, and I think that's a very useful tool for those ladies who like to organize themselves. And if anyone want to get it, Giorgiana have a lot, so feel free to reach out to her. So, Milagros, how the agendas work for you? You are organized? Are you working daily? You have your own agenda?
Yes, and I also want to mention something that Giorgiana said, and it was, so true about, knowing what your style is, what your followers like. For example, I started my following with the baskets, and I didn't even know that I had that many following until my videos started getting out there. So I became the basket lady. So it's something that when the people look at my name, it's how I was a basket lady. But that is true, and you have to put content that you really feel like that's what you can relate to, and that's you. I use my calendar. I'm very faithful with what I write down in my calendar. However, I use it a little differently. I set goals. For example, if I start the week, I set goals for that week, and sometimes I set goals for the whole month. But then I focus on that week. So I said, okay, this week I'm going to work on posting one video every day in different platforms. So that way I mentally know that I have to work on that. And then I have to create a video, whether it is a video that I'm not live or a video like this video here. Once I'm done, I will, just like the video we did together, I will save it and put it on my YouTube channel. So my goal is to create content for video content every day, Monday through Sunday. Then I have my social, my Avon social listings, where I'm able to schedule them ahead and I don't have to worry about that. But then, being consistent with what's on your calendar and the goals that you want and the reason why you want to get to those goals. For example, if I'm struggling with my team sales, so I said, okay, my team sales are struggling right now, so I need to focus more on product review. I need to focus more on bringing in more team members. So then I have to do recruiting videos. So what I do, I mix both of them together so that I can work on the area that I am hurting. Another example, a few years ago, I told my husband I want to reach silver executive leader, and I was not even halfway close. So I was like, how am I going to do that? I have the leaders, but they're not working. So, I started creating a plan, not looking at what was impossible. I was looking at what I can do on my end. So my goal was to get to silver executive leader. Guess what? I schedule training consistently. I mean, training on YouTube. I started doing videos. I started doing trainings on my own. Like if I had a whole audience in front of me, but I was just standing in my training room and doing videos and posting them on Facebook and just, directing different messages so that my leaders can start working. because it's not only attracting new people, is that your leaders take on to the message and they start working and recruiting and doing their job. We can't force them to do their job. So, you know, I was giving out those messages looking at my title and me to title. Guess what? In campaign 26, I title to Silver Executive Leader. It was like, I'm like, the power of just overcoming everything that you have in your mind and just looking at goals. That's how I use my calendar. So, you know, if you guys want to create some kind of social following, just make sure you know what that kind of following is going to do for your business. So, for example, you're going to start posting about a product, so you have to be consistent about, you know, your postings about the products and sharing your website and putting it in different platforms. But the key is to be consistent, so those sales and that following can come with time. It's not going to come because I posted one video or I posted something that created thousands of views. It's going to come with time. So that's how I use my calendar, and that's the power of my calendar and journal.
Since we are stuck in home, let's talk about how we're going to keep working, prospecting, promoting, recruiting, selling from home. So everyone now is at home because of the situation we're facing right now with the virus. And how you guys are organizing yourself. Personally, I keep promoting, I keep posting, I keep talking about positive things, you know. But how you guys are doing, how you handling the sales right now? I know Giorgiana do her 100% online sales. How you doing so far, Giorgiana?
This year is looking good, thank God. I think it's weird because it's different and it's definitely hard in this atmosphere that, you know, things had to change. But I was talking to Milagros the other day and I was saying it's different, but it's the same, because it's just a chance for us to continue to do what we've been doing. And I'm looking at this as an opportunity to become more efficient, to get better, to improve myself. I'm looking at how much time I used to waste in commuting that I can now use differently in my business. Like I always use that time, you know, working on my phone to do social media posts or to catch up on either practicing a new language, or like I always use that time to improve myself. But now I find that because I'm home and I have that time where I'm just sitting in one place, it's like I've added 4 hours to my day. So on the one hand, it's crazy, because yeah, it's overwhelming and it's hard, and you know, you're trying to figure out how to maneuver because you can't get out. Even though I did do a lot of social media, I also gave out a lot of brochures to customers who are local, and then they would call me and place their order. But now I'm just transitioning to texting out the brochure or emailing out the brochure, and you know, having people go to my brochure link. But I'm looking at it as, you know, that's where the economy was moving anyway. So instead of, I feel like all of my excuses for why I didn't want to move with the trend are now just going out of the window. Because it's like, in the past it was like, yeah, that's where we're going, and now it's like, that's where we are now. So just roll with the punches. So for me, it's different, but very much the same.
But how you communicate with let's say to the actual customer you have online, to the kind of customer you don't have yet but you still want to have it? So how you optimize that, you know, that conversation? How to convert the people who are not your customer yet to your customer?
I think for that, it kind of goes back to what you both were saying before. Like you were saying that the posts that you make and the videos that the live streams that you do, even though you don't have people watching it right now, it's for the people who will be able to watch it later. So I feel like when I'm posting on social media, whether it's a live, a training, or just me doing a get ready with me, I may not have the following now, but I feel like it's like planting the seeds for the investment later. And Milagros was saying how when she was doing the basket videos at the time, she wasn't doing it, or, you know, the trainings for her team, she wasn't doing it for what she had at the moment. She was looking at what she wanted to have. So I kind of look at everything like that. And I think of everything as a piece of a larger puzzle. So as I do my Instagram posts and my YouTube videos and my online trainings and my Facebook groups for my team, my Facebook groups for my customers, I feel like it's all like in and of itself, it doesn't seem like something huge. And for the most part, they're things that I've always been doing. But now that we're all home, I feel like more of my customers and my team members are also home, so they have more time to go back and look at the videos. I mean, I've been having people comment on videos that I did years ago, and maybe they didn't have a lot of viewers at the time, but now people are starting to watch them. So I'm like, that's great, because that's something that I don't have to do now. It was a seed that was planted then that people are now picking up on. So I think it's like what you both said was a really great point. You just have to do your job as a leader, as a business person now. Some of the channels that I use, like if somebody is watching and they're just looking for tips on where to start, I would recommend picking 1 or 2 channels that you can really focus on, whether it's Facebook and that's your focus, or Facebook and Instagram, or Facebook and YouTube. Most social media now can coordinate with each other. Like Millie said, you could do a video on YouTube and then share it on your other channels later on. And now with Instagram TV, you could do videos on YouTube, make it shorter and share it on IGTV, or you could take snapshots. I do that with my makeup videos. As I'm doing my makeup, I'll take a couple of snapshots and share onto Instagram. But look at where your customers are. Who's your audience? Look at where they are, and then try to be in that place. So if you know most of your customers are on Facebook, then you know that you need to be there. If you know that you have a large customer base on Instagram, then that's where you have to be. But also look at where you want to be, like maybe if they're not your audience right now, but you want them to be your audience, look at where they are and then try to be in that place as well. So you want to work with where you are, but also set a plan for the future for where you want to be and then go with them. So some of the places that I'm in are our Facebook groups for my team and my customers. I have my Facebook business page, my Instagram page. I have a YouTube channel. And for customer communications, it's mostly still old school phone calls and text. So it's not new technology, but it's something that we've always had and that people are already used to using. So I use that. I also try to look for different apps that are new. Like we were talking about TikTok earlier. I don't have a customer base right now on TikTok, but if that's where they were, then that's where I would have to go.
Exactly. Well, I think we have to go by what the technology is bringing us, because we don't have no more choices, Milagros. So we have to, keep up learning, asking, the best tips, taking and applying to the real life every single day. To me, I believe, something happens when you post a personal picture for anything you do home. You have 100 likes, you have 50 comments, from the more simple to the more amazing comments you can have. But when you do post something about business, barely one person or 0 they give a like. So I believe everyone is struggling with that part, but it is what it is, right? Somehow they have to know we're doing what we're doing, but we cannot avoid to keep posting our business 24/7. So painfully, that's the real thing. So to me, the biggest challenge, Giorgiana, is to try to make a difference. How to convert customers. So, do you send a coupon discount? Do you send a welcome letter? Do you send any message to them? What do you send to them?
It differs. It depends on the person. It depends on how they found me. It depends on my mood, which is not a good thing, but it's the honest truth. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. When I first started, I sent a lot of coupons, and then I realized that I was just giving away my profit, and that wasn't a good business tool. So now I send them more sporadically, like if there's a special occasion. A few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I was inspired by Oprah, and I did giveaways every day in my birthday month. It was fun and I enjoyed doing it. And I came across a few more customers, but I think the customers who are most loyal or who have like repeat orders are the ones that are receiving the brochure. I'm in that respect, I'm still old school. I love the brochure. I'm transitioning to digital now, but I loved the paper brochure, and I was always diligent about ordering and getting the brochure out to my customers. I feel like I was taught when I first started that that is your store, and if your brochures are out there, hi Yesenia, I don't know, it just popped up, but but if your store is open, then you're in business. So for me, the brochure is my store. I wanted to make sure my brochures are open. So I give out a lot of brochures in my neighborhood, in my area. I mail brochures to my customers so that they're consistently seeing the new products that we have. And then I look at my social media as me interacting with the brochure. So like earlier you were saying that sometimes people will comment on a picture of you, but then you'll post just the product and then you'll get nothing. So combine them, put them together. I make it so, you know, this is me with the brand new product. I'm going to try it out, guys, come along. And then when I put it on, now it's like my face plus the product. So now I've just increased the interaction. So sometimes people don't know where to start, what to use. There's so many products, so many brands out there. Sometimes just using it, like for me, I have oily skin and huge pores. So I try to share, okay, these are the products that I'm using for my oily skin and my huge pores and my acne scars. There's no shame in my game, but there might be someone else out there who has a similar problem. And I get a lot of texts from people or emails who might say, you know, I have a similar problem. What do you use? I saw you do a makeup tutorial and, you know, your face, these are products that you use on your face, but which of these products do you recommend for my skin? So I think being that person who can answer the questions, sort of setting yourself up as the expert in your field, helps that conversion, because people don't know where to go or where to start. So it's our job as representatives to close that gap.
Also, Regina was our guest like 2 videos ago. I almost said days, 2 videos ago. And then she was mentioning that her technique is she found a local business. She asked to permission to the owner and for the establishment, and she placed the brochures and like you know, like the sign of take one for free, right? So I think this is another way also to be exploring different places to get customers, to convert them, you know, to loyal customers like you mentioned, because somehow the community still has to know that we are there, right? Online, but we are there.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's true. Businesses are still open, so we don't have to have that close contact. If they're open, you know, we walk in, we have brochures, we have samples. So mixing both ways, you know, even if we're not so active out there. And I love everything you shared, Giorgiana. I also want to add, you know, with what you said, Anna, about posting fun picture, that happens to us all. But you know, if sometimes I see that when I mix something, you know, from my Avon social and I add it to my stories are huge with Facebook. So I try to do mini videos on Snapchat, and then you know, if I am outside, I'm doing a little video or a barbecue. And then when people are looking at my story, they're looking at barbecue, they're looking at chickens, they're looking at, you know, different things that I post. But then it comes the Avon social with my page, maybe a video that I did on a live that I post in there. So mixing personal with business has given me, my stories are going up in viewers. The other day, one of my stories had over 200 views. Yes, that was huge, because I started with just, you know, 2 or 3 views, and you know, I was posting every day. I post on my stories every day, and people have found me there. So
we have, I'm sorry to interrupt, Milagros. We have a Maria del Mar from Puerto Rico. And she said 1 minute video is worth 1,000K, right? So, you agree with that? Right there, as you can see.
there you go.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So we have Yesenia from California, Eli Guzman, Cecilia Madali Cedeño, Rosa de la O, Onilda. It's many ladies connected. I think all of them are related with this conversation today. And any tips for anyone who ever sells something online, Giorgiana?
Tips for
someone who ever sells something online.
Okay, so if you have never had an online customer before, first and foremost, know that we all started at that point. I didn't just like start selling online. I had customers trickle in. And as the business owner, I also had to determine for myself that that's where I wanted to move my business. So I kind of had to coax some of my customers online. Not everybody wanted to go. And with my team, I hear, nobody wants to order online. I'm like, nobody wants to order online until they have incentive to. So, maybe you need to do a raffle. For when I first started, I did raffles with my in-person customers. And I said, yeah, if you spend X amount, you get a free gift. Or I'm going to put you into a giveaway for a free gift. And my customers who I was delivering to, they said, well, how comes I'm not in the raffle? And I said, because you didn't order online. It's an online order raffle. So if you want to be in the raffle, or if you want that free gift, you've got to order online. And then they were like, I want a free gift. So, like as I don't remember the name of the TV show, but they were saying that sometimes, like as a wife, you want to make sure that your husband feels like the idea is his. You don't want to keep telling him what to do because he's going to get frustrated. So I feel like in your business too, sometimes you want to help the customer to make the right decision. So you give them encouragement so that they feel like the idea was theirs. As people, we don't want to be forced into anything. We don't want to be pressured or pushed. But if you come to the idea yourself, like, yeah, I want my products faster. I want the free gifts and the free giveaways, then I'll do it. So I say leverage that stuff. Leverage all the great tools that Avon is doing. Share, like your customers who are ordering from the brochure in person don't know about all the giveaways. The other day, Avon was giving away the full 5-pack sample of the new Green Goddess. Which I got at Milagros' recommendation. Most people, if they're not online, there it is. If they don't know about it, then they're not going to go there. If people don't know the benefits of ordering online, that you get your order faster, that you get all the giveaways that Avon has. Some customers still think that if they order online, then you won't get the commission. So half of it is debunking the myths that are out there, but you won't know what their fears are unless you talk to them about it. So some people are afraid of entering their credit card information online. So show them the little lock symbol at the top of the Avon website that shows them that their account is on a secure link. Some customers aren't good with computers. So when you're telling them order online, they're saying, well, I don't know how to do that. You might have to show them the first couple of times. I still have customers, like I said, that call me and I help them put their order in, and we will always have that relationship. I'm okay with it as long as they're okay with it. So, don't get discouraged if you haven't made an order yet. They're going to come. You're muted, Anna.
Okay, for those who never, ever sell nothing online, that was one of the best tips I ever listened before, is incentivize the potential customer. So I think that's the key. So if no one ever sells something, that's something that has to put on practice. So thank you so much for that tips. And also, we still have a free sign up, free join to Avon. Okay, and so many representatives hasn't taken advantage for that right now. But if someone there, they still haven't signed up someone yet, what's gonna be the best tips?
Reach out to your list. That's what has given me the most results, to just go through your friends, click on that friend's message and just say, hi, how are you doing? I'm checking up on you, and just establish that relationship. And some of them will say, yes, that sounds good, I would love a discount. Some of them would say, I'd rather buy. And you can always ask for referrals. But if you don't have that first contact, that first approach to contact so many people a day, then, and, it's like when I hear, no one wants to sign up. And I said, I don't agree with that. I believe that you just haven't asked enough people for you to have that average of them signing up.
Mhm.
Like, someone will tell you, like I had this comment on YouTube, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, really? So this person, she said, after Christmas, and now we're in March, after Christmas, everybody spend their money.
Mhm.
So we are in March, and my reply to that person, that it was, I understand that that's your point of view, but not everyone is facing the same situation. So you might think no one wants to buy their products, no one wants to sign up, but in reality, it's just that percentage that you have reached out that is so small that you're not going to get the return of getting a bigger average of people that you are contacting.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
That's a
Just,
good
just
point.
to put a small example that if we base our research on zip codes, only one city has more than 10 zip codes. So imagine that. So I'm sorry, only one state has more than 10 zip codes. So what I'm saying is we cannot generalize saying that anybody no want to
Yeah.
or everybody do already, because it is so many people in each zip code that we don't reach out yet. So I think the best, one of the best tips will be trying to create the flyers, because we're still working with the flyer prospecting in the old-fashioned way. In the meantime, we're catching up with the digital team, right? Because it's kind of complicated go digital if we not explore first that the local market or at least our community, right?
Do both.
Exactly. So in order to have an online sale, somehow they has to know we're selling Avon, like with using business card, electronic business card, traditional flyers, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. Being on social media is about do everything, and I believe that for those who haven't started to recruit, this is the moment they have to start thinking what they can do to attract all those people, instead to say nobody wants to or already everyone is into,
Yeah.
right?
I when I first started, I believe that too. So I think it's very much a mindset as well. When I first started, my district manager, I had no recruits. I was not President's Club. I think the most I had ever sold was $100, and I was not a top seller. And I didn't see myself as one. I watched a lot of Anna and other sales leaders, and I dreamed that one day it might be possible to get there, but I feel like I didn't really believe it for myself. But when I changed my mindset, all of a sudden I started to find people. And I said to myself one day, these people were always there, but I wasn't showing up to share the opportunity for
Right.
them. So you need to show up yourself. If your current social circle, I couldn't, when I first started, I didn't have family or friends. I had zero, like no customers. I had one friend, thank God, she shared with her aunt and she bought. And I think what stuff that I bought is how I made up that $100 order. But I needed to get out there. So I forced myself to go out to local businesses, laundromats, beauty salons, barbershops. I watched the videos of other sales leaders and what they were doing, and I tried everything. But the people in my community didn't change. It wasn't that really nobody wanted to join. It's just that I hadn't asked the right people yet.
Right.
So, and now I have a team of over 200. Never, ever in my wildest dreams. Sometimes I look at it and I still can't believe it. Sometimes when I see my paycheck, I keep them in places. And that's another reason why I like to plan, because you can you look at things in the past, look at your dreams in the past, and look at your hopes. Earlier last year, I had I was looking back. I keep a page in my planner for my goals, and I was looking back at the page. It's ratty. Don't judge me, but it's gone through a couple of planners over the last few years. But I keep a dream board in my planner so I can always see it. And one of the things was to make honor society. It was like in my 5-year plan. I had put a little note to myself. I don't know if you could see it, to earn honor society, and I finally made it. But I remember when I first joined Avon, and at the time it was the district manager who appointed me. They were telling me about President's Club, and I was like, skip over that part. I will never sell $10,000. That's just not going to happen. Next. And eventually I was able to, and now I'm selling more than President's Club. So it's really a mindset. If you tell yourself that you can't, then you won't.
Right, right. So connected with us today is Maria Del Mar Torres. She's her specialty is about customer service. In case someone wants to follow her, I just recommend her because she have this kind of training on Facebook as well, live videos, and that might help to your groups, you know, to follow her, to learn some techniques about how to talk to people. So I really recommend her. So I'm so glad she's connected with us. So bad I haven't reached out to her to be with us in the live video, but the next time you'll be. And well, I think this has been a really nice, smooth, and real team conversation, right? So I most appreciate Giorgiana for your time and, you know, to share your success, your planner with us. And I hope, you know, everyone here catching up the best of this conversation, because it's not informal. It's something to learn from each other. So I really most appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad that you're doing something like this because, like I said, this is how I learned and got inspiration. Back in my day, we didn't have Facebook, so you had to get on the one call that was available once a month.
That's right. That's right.
Great. Thank you, Anna.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. And Milagros too, thank you so much for this connection, amazing connection with Giorgiana. It's so much to learn from. And I think everyone will be happy today to be seeing her, listening her. And maybe one day we can do an Spanglish with Giorgiana. Like this, we can, you know.
I could do Spanglish. It's not that great, but I'm working on it.
Right.
Spanish, and I could sell Avon in Spanish. That's it.
You see, we're talking the same language here. Cha-ching. Thank you, Milagros, so much for this amazing interview as well. So that's all we have today. Today is Wednesday, and I appreciate all of your time to be connected with us. So until next time, and I appreciate both of you.
Tomorrow.
Oh my God. I always forget Giorgiana. She has me this commitment. She said, Anna, we are off all this time. We have to do video every day. And I said, really? Can you believe that? Oh my God. And I said, so what are we going to be talking again next?
We got it.
Thank you so much for this amazing time, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.